Treasurer's report. Again, on a cash basis, our income for the month of May was almost $41,000 below budget. Our expenses were about $55,000 below budget, so we ended up with a net positive income for the month. Cash on hand increased to a total of almost $48,000, with about $184 of that being in our undesignated funds, so that means it's available for operating expenses. The non-designated funds were down by about $20,000 for the month of May. The remaining $560,000 that we have in our cash on hand is in the various designated accounts, the performance bonds, replacement reserve, etc. I'm sorry to report that once again our receivables increased, this time by an additional $32,000 for the month, bringing us to just over $754,000, or less than $1,000 under $750,000 that we are owed. Our delinquencies continue to run higher than we'd like to see them. We're about 15% for lots with utilities, about 34% delinquent for membership lots. Any questions? I would suggest that if you have questions on the treasurer's, since there are literally thousands of entries every month, it's impossible for me or for Ray or for anybody to be able to talk to any one of these entries in a vacuum. But if you have questions when you get the board book on Thursday evening or Friday and you read it over the weekend, if you could shoot me the questions that you might have by email, I'll be sure to be able to have done the research and get answers for you by the time we come here Monday night. But anyway, Ken, you have a question?
I was going to say, I think that's a very, very fair comment on John's part. It's really unfair for us to pinpoint a number, get very deep in these 30 pages, and expect John to be able to respond to it on the spot. So let's try to do that offline a little bit more than we have been.
As wonderful as the change in ARs as a percent of budgeted assessment income has been, it seems to me that a month-over-month increase in the delinquency dollars is a more meaningful measure.
I would agree. That's why I reported it to you verbally as being an
You
important...
reported a $32,000 increase. Is that correct?
Yes, for receivables, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I just, would make life clearer for me if you just replace that percent figure with the actual dollar figure.
Okay. All righty. You can do that.
John,
Yep.
could you look at the Schedule P, please? I'm not going to mail you with a number very deep in this.
Okay.
It's just the same generic comment I made last month. This is profoundly wrong.
We need to address this perhaps at a time when we have more time to devote to it, because as you recall, this time last year when we borrowed money from the dam fund, we agreed that we were going to take the money from this, put it in, but we were not going to decrement this account because it was money that we owed to ourselves. And so what you're seeing here is a continuation of that same policy.
Which is wrong.
Which reflects money that we don't have. You're absolutely right. And my suggestion is that when we have the time that we can devote to it, that we go in here and we correct the board. Kilmer agrees with that, but he says in order to do what you and I both think needs to be done, the board needs to satisfy him to enact a resolution to that, or a motion or something or other to that effect. So I'm prepared to do that, but...
do we need to bring that motion to the board next month?
I could bring it to the board next month, yes.
I'll put it on my
I talked to Mike today
Mm-hmm.
about this very item. And first of all, you use it as a fund balance. It's not, but we don't want to go into the particulars. I asked him if he would provide a note that further explains this in greater depth as to how that figure is arrived at. And that continues on throughout this fiscal year with this. And so that if somebody picks up this report a year from now, they can understand.
It's a fiction
Yeah, we'll,
And a misrepresentation of our financial status, it has to just be changed.
we'll fix it with that thing next month. The board will agree, if the board agrees to it next month, then the following month, it'll be a done deal.
Okay, thanks, John. Anybody else in favor of this one? Ken?
My memory's weak, John, but this is Schedule P, I guess, and it has the note about borrowing the dam funds.
Yes.
And we're replacing those. Are we on schedule to have that completely replaced by the end of the year, or what?
Yeah, yes, we're tracking to the penny.
To the penny, but it's a 12-month.
Correct,
It's a
correct,
12-month payment.
correct, correct.
We load 83,000 to that account, 100,000 was reimbursed.
We'll,
Yeah.
that's the resolution that Wayne and I are just talking about, Ken, and we'll bring that to the board in infinite detail next month.
Okay.
Detailed accounting so everybody will understand the puts and takes.
Anybody else? John, do you want to take a moment now to set the date for the second quarter financial review, which should occur next month?
Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Yeah, it would have to be, I didn't bring my calendar with me, but when is the board meeting? What's the date of the board meeting?
would be the 28th.
Okay, the 28th. So I will get the financials from Kilmer no later than the 21st.
Do you get it the third week or the fourth?
I get it a week before the board. I get it the Monday prior to the board meeting.
So you have it the 21st.
So I get it the 21st. Anytime, and I'll need a day or two to manipulate it, so probably, I don't need as much time.
Wednesday, 23rd?
We could,
You need time to manipulate it, you need time to get it to everybody, and everybody
yeah,
needs time to
yeah,
study
so
it.
it probably ought to be the following week, I think, to be safe. Maybe the 30th.
So we're having a 28th and then a 30th?
What day of the week is the
30th is a Wednesday.
So we would have a board meeting on Monday and a financial review on Wednesday, is that okay with everybody? Okay.
And a financial management task force meeting on Thursday.
No, that would have been the 24th, John.
But also the following Monday. We've got 3 scheduled, 17th, 24th, and 31st.
I should
So-
know that.
You should know that. So, yeah, that's fine, that's
Okay.
fine. The
So
30th will
Wednesday
be,
the 30th,
yeah,
and that gives you plenty of time, John,
Oh, yeah.
to do your magic.
no problem at all.
Yes.
Anything else in the financial?
Just moved into this room for the month of July.
Look at the mortgage money.
Yeah, that's right.